In 1350, what we know as the idyllic French countryside was a living hell. For more than 15 years, the people had suffered at the hands of English invaders. Little did they know that this war would last for another 100 years. But through this crucible of fighting, famine, and plague, there would emerge the modern nation of France. England's King, Edward III, looked jealously across the English Channel. Wanting France for his own, he had added the fleur-de-lis, the symbol of France, to his own royal standard. This was an all-out declaration of war. And in 1337, he invaded. But France already had a king, Philippe VI. As the English burned their way across the land, Philippe's army and his legendary knights marched to meet them and came face to face with the English longbow. A simple weapon, but the most devastating the knights had ever faced. The heroes of France fell to storms of English arrows. The war engulfed the French countryside. By 1351, the conflict was focused on Brittany. One fight stands out as a spectacular display of chivalry and a symbol of the wider conflict between the two enemy nations. The Combat of the 30 is still commemorated here in Brittany. It was a dispute between two local families. Supported by the opposing sides in the war, the French and English commanders decided to settle it through a trial of knightly combat. Each side would choose 30 champions to fight on neutral ground. France prepared to defend itself against England's finest. Intent on ending the suffering of the French peasantry, Sir Jean de Beaumanoir sent a challenge to the English commander. 30 champions on each side would compete in a tournament for final claim to Brittany. With the battleground of the halfway oak agreed upon, Sir Jean set out to gather support from local knights. As a knight himself, Sir Jean followed the strict rules of chivalry and was expected to protect the local peasantry and ensure peace.
Quoi sunt vos commandement? Oyez. Guardați vos compagnons!
Most medieval tournaments were friendly in nature, held for sport and glory, but the Combat of the 30 was arranged between opponents mired in war. English raids had torn through the countryside of Brittany and brought great hardship to the people. Sir Jean spotted an English raiding party attacking a nearby farmstead.
Reste vor uns sonst.
The French knights defeated the English raiders, and Sir Guy de Rochefort joined Sir Jean's party.
Honor est d'obéir. Quel est votre plaisir?
Sir Jean's search next brought him to Sir Geoffroy de Bois, whose squires were contending with a detachment of English longbowmen. The knights would use the great speed of their war horses to charge the archers and overwhelm them. The English longbowmen fell, but the French knights knew the enemy would attempt to retake the hilltop fortification and steeled themselves for further attacks.
Donnez-moi vos advices. Je veux vos obéir. Honor est d'obéir.
With Sir Geoffroy by his side, Sir Jean had secured the outpost.
Je veux vos obéir. Jirid, donnez-moi vos advices. Obéir, c'est incontinent. Je veux je suis votre serveuse. Avayez vos... Oyez. Ognetz vos arbes. Metz vos donc, en avoué. Vectos nos en avoué. Let's vote donc, en avoué.
Lancière en place.
Place, petit commandement. Oyez. Acte en votre service. Retrayez vos armes. Avayez votre, un pied. L'heure est de besoigner.
Looking to secure his honor, a young knight held his ground on a bridge in Sir Jean's path.
C'est comme vos voldrez. Truppe de traite! Quel est de votre plaisir?
Honorably conceding defeat in the duel, Sir Yves Charel joined the cause.
Bien, si fait vos commandements. Soyez Ognetz vos arbes. Ognetz vos arbes. Attendez, certes.
Bracie, więc was donc,
Soyez
comme was Brest. Un pied ci, un pied là. Mettons nos en la bouée. Reniez vos armes. Więc was donc, en la bouée.
Sir Jean entered the staging area for the tournament, where he prepared to choose which knights would join him in battle. Each knight would be accompanied by his squires, young nobles in training to become knights themselves.
Page.
Sir Jean had selected his champions. As the sun rose, the two sides entered the arena, ready for the first round of combat.
Arrayez les compresses. Si faites vos commandements. Un pied ci, un pied là. Mettons nos en la bouée. Page. Les hommes de paix,
Claiming an easy victory in the first round, the French champions left the arena to recover their strength.
bien savez quoque no comme vos Brest. Bracie, więc was donc, en la bouée.
Refreshed and reinvigorated, the French knights returned to the arena for another round of combat. The combat of the 30 was about to decide which nation would control the Duchy of Brittany. Triumphant, Sir Jean de Beaumanoir and his loyal knights claimed victory. The combat of the 30 had decided control of Brittany in favor of the French. Little did the two sides know, this was just the beginning of a bitter war that would outlive them all.